My ex's new girlfriend called me a slut in front of our entire friend group. So I completely shut her down, and now everyone is demanding I apologize. Our storyteller spent 6 long months pouring her heart, soul, and hard-earned cash into a stunning custom cosplay for the biggest convention of the year. But right before the event, her ex sent her a text demanding she cover up so his insecure new girlfriend wouldn't feel threatened. She refused to back down, and by the end of the night, their entire group was kicked out onto the street. To understand how things got so out of hand, you have to go back 8 months. Our storyteller was 22 when she and her ex-boyfriend decided to call it quits. They had been dating for a while, but the relationship had simply run its course. It was a mutual, clean breakup, and they managed to stay on surprisingly good terms. That was a huge relief, because they shared the exact same tight-knit circle of friends. If things got messy between them, it would splinter the entire group. After the split, though, she hit a bit of a rough patch emotionally. Breaking up is never easy, even when it's mutual. But instead of spiraling, she made a deliberate choice to rebuild herself. She started eating better, going to therapy every single week, and putting serious work in at the gym. Slowly but surely, the shift became impossible to ignore. Her posture changed, her energy transformed. Her friends constantly commented on how much happier, healthier, and vibrant she looked. For the first time in years, she was actually building real self-confidence. Now, you have to know something about her. She is a massive nerd, and proud of it. We're talking weekly tabletop D&D campaigns, thousands of hours logged into complex space strategy games like Stellaris, and a deep, passionate love for cosplay. But because she used to struggle with body image and confidence, all of her past costumes had one thing in common: they completely covered her up. She used to pick characters like Hornet from Hollow Knight or Mono from Little Nightmares. Outfits with giant helmets, paper bags over the head, or bulky coats that hid every inch of her face and body. They were impressive artistic projects, but they were also a shield to hide behind. With her new confidence, though, she wanted to try something different for the upcoming comic convention in her city. A close friend convinced her to do a duo cosplay from the game Valorant, with her friend going as Chamber and our storyteller going as Viper. If you know the character, Viper wears a sleek, bold, form-fitting tactical suit with face masks, body armor, and poison canisters. It was daring, stylish, and required stepping way outside her comfort zone. For 6 grueling months, she poured almost all of her free time and disposable income into creating this outfit. She spent hundreds of hours hand-sewing synthetic fabrics, molding foam armor plates, wiring up custom lights, and sanding down prop canisters until they were flawless. It was the hardest she had ever worked on a project, and she was immensely proud of the final product. 3 weeks before the convention, the costume was finally complete. She put the whole thing on, took a few mirror photos to check the fit, and dropped a picture into her main group chat, asking her friends for quick feedback on the final details. Within minutes, her phone buzzed with a private message. It was her ex. He didn't say the costume looked great. He didn't congratulate her on 6 months of hard work. Instead, he wrote, "Please do not wear that cosplay to the convention. It's going to make my new girlfriend uncomfortable." She sat there staring at her screen, completely stunned. She knew he had started seeing someone new recently, but she had no idea this girl was even coming to the convention with their friend group. More importantly, why on earth would a video game costume, crafted over half a year, make a complete stranger uncomfortable? She replied, asking him directly what about the outfit could possibly bother his new girlfriend. He completely refused to elaborate. He just kept repeating that the outfit was inappropriate and that she needed to pick something else to wear. And here's the part that changes everything. Our storyteller calmly explained to him that she had spent 6 months of labor and hundreds of dollars preparing for this weekend. She wasn't about to throw all of that hard work in the garbage just because a girl she had literally never met felt insecure about a costume. She told him respectfully, but firmly, that she was wearing it. And that's when things went from bad to completely insane. The day of the convention arrived, and she showed up in her full Viper outfit. The moment she stepped into the convention center, the response was overwhelming. People loved it. The fit was crisp, the prop work was incredible, and she was getting stopped every few feet by photographers and fellow fans asking for pictures. She felt amazing. Eventually, the rest of her friend group arrived, bringing her ex and his new girlfriend along with them. Our storyteller tried to be respectful. She kept her distance when she could, but because they were all exploring the convention together, they ended up spending a huge chunk of the day in a big group. That was when the psychological warfare started. From the second they joined up, the new girlfriend made it her personal mission to render our storyteller miserable. Every single time a photographer walked up to ask our storyteller for a photo, the new girlfriend would audibly scoff. She would lean into the ex's ear, whisper loud enough for people nearby to hear, and break into sarcastic giggles. Whenever random strangers complimented the intricate armor work, the new girlfriend would roll her eyes and make loud, passive-aggressive remarks to the rest of the group about people who are desperate for attention. The air was thick with tension. The other friends in the group were visibly uncomfortable, shifting their weight, exchanging awkward glances, and staring at their shoes. But nobody spoke up. Nobody wanted to ignite a fight in the middle of a crowded convention hall. So our storyteller took the high road. She took a deep breath, ignored the sneers, and focused on enjoying her day. When the convention floor finally closed for the evening, the entire group decided to head to a sit-down restaurant nearby for dinner. They all crammed into a large booth, exhausted, hungry, and trying to relax. To break the icy awkwardness that had been hovering over the group all day, one of the friends turned to the new girlfriend with a warm smile and said, "Hey, you should try cosplaying with us next year. It's so much fun, you'd great at it." The new girlfriend didn't just decline the offer. She turned her head, looked directly across the table at our storyteller, curled her lip, and loudly said, "Why would I need more attention from guys? I already have a boyfriend. I'm not a slut." The entire table went dead silent. You could have heard a pin drop. 6 months of sweat, hand sewing, and late-night crafting. Months of going to therapy, working out, and building up her confidence from absolute rock bottom. And here was this girl, looking her in the eye and calling her a slut in front of everyone she cared about, simply because she had felt confident in her own skin for one single day. Our storyteller completely snapped. She slammed her hands on the table, looked the girl straight in the eye, and yelled, "Stop acting like a bitter, pick-me bitch just because I got attention all day and you didn't." The reaction was instantaneous. The new girlfriend immediately burst into dramatic, hysterical tears, burying her face in her hands. The ex exploded out of his seat. He slammed his fist down, pointed his finger right in our storyteller's face, and started screaming at her, demanding she apologize right that second for bullying his girlfriend. Our storyteller stood her ground, screaming right back, "I will only apologize the second she apologizes for being a toxic, passive-aggressive bully to me the entire day." Within seconds, the whole table erupted into pure chaos. Friends started yelling at friends, taking sides, pointing fingers, and bringing up old resentment. It turned into a full-blown screaming match in the middle of a crowded, nice restaurant. It got so bad, so fast, that the restaurant manager rushed over, threatened to call the police, and kicked the entire group out onto the sidewalk. It has been 5 days since that disaster of a night. Her ex has now delivered a nuclear ultimatum to the group. If our storyteller does not issue a full, public, and humbled apology to his new girlfriend, he is cutting all ties and leaving the friend group forever. Our storyteller couldn't care less if he walks out of her life for good. He enabled his partner's toxic behavior all day and then attacked the victim. But now, several of her friends are blowing up her phone, begging her to just cave. They want her to fake an apology, swallow her pride, and sweep the whole thing under the rug just so the friend group doesn't split apart. On one hand, escalating a verbal fight in a quiet restaurant dragged bystanders into a scene, and keeping a long-standing circle of friends together takes compromise. But on the other hand, standing by silently while someone insults your character and calls you a slut in public just because they are insecure is a line no one should ever be forced to cross. Expecting someone to swallow their self-respect just to preserve group harmony is asking them to trade their dignity for someone else's comfort. Was she completely justified in putting her ex's girlfriend in her place after being tormented all day, or should she have swallowed her pride and apologized just to save her friend group?